Charm, you can start.
Welcome to Sunya Talks Sunday session. Today we are going to discuss the Ekotara Agama, and we have started this new thing on Zoom live so that our session gets more interactive. With me is Dr. Rajesh Savera. Welcome, Doctor, to Sunday Sunya Talks,
Yeah,
who is famous Ayurvedacharya and psychotherapist. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Doctor.
thank you so much. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Please let me know if Dr. Lim has joined. Welcome, Dr.
Yet,
Lim.
not yet. Once he joins, we will definitely call
Yeah.
him.
So we are starting this Zoom interactive session, Doctor, wherein we are offering the platform for all the participants to have the direct interaction with the masters we have got in form of you and Dr. Lim. Thanks to the SIF translation department for working on this Chinese Agamas translation, which have been passed on. And this is coming from Kumar Jiva's tradition. And we are doing this translation under the guidance of Dhanacharya Nagajiva, aka Dr. Lim. So today we are gonna dive into the Ekotara Agama series, and before we start our series, today I'm gonna read the sutras, and uh, you and Dr. Lim will be expounding and giving us insights into the sutra. Before we begin, let's have our red belt Sunya practice. Reverse countdown from 9 to 0. Welcome to the show, Dr. Lim, Sunday Sunya Talks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can go to the slides, and why we are doing this sutra study is for the contemplation, as Dr. Lim also yesterday emphasized on both the practice and the theory, because theory makes you contemplate and Shunya practice gives you that pathway towards liberation. So we can go for the slides, Kevin. So today we are going to discuss the Ekotara Agama, which have been from the tradition of Kumar Jiva, and this has been translated from Gautama Sangadeva from Kushan Empire, Kashmir, during Eastern Qing dynasty. And we are doing this under the guidance of Dr. Lim Dhanacharya Nagajiva. Next slide. Let's study EA 23.1, Lord of the Earth.
So I think
Thus,
today doctor is also traveling, and doctor will be busy, doctor. So be
Yeah.
comfortable, doctor. So we will continue our study. Whenever you want to exit, you can exit, doctor.
Yeah. Okay. Because
Okay.
I may need to attend a very important meeting.
Yeah. No
Okay.
problem, doctor. You can turn off the video also, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So Rucha, can we continue?
yes, Doctor. EA 23.1, thus I have heard. One time, the Buddha was staying at Anath Pindada's ashrama in Jetwan of Shravasti. At that time, King Prasenjit addressed his ministers, saying, prepare the jewel chariot swiftly, for I wish to go to the Bhagwan's presence to pay homage and inquire about his well-being. Then the attendants obeyed the king's command, prepared the jewel chariot, and reported, the chariot is ready. Now is the time. Next slide. Thereupon, King Prasenjit mounted the jeweled chariot, accompanied by thousands of footmen and horsemen in procession. He left Shravasti and arrived at the Jetvan Vihara to approach the Bhagwan. Following royal customs, he removed the five regalia, the canopy, crown, sword, sandals, and golden flag whisk, left them aside, and approached the Bhagwan. He bowed his head at the Bhagwan's feet and sat to one side. Then the Bhagwan expounded profound dharma to him, instructing and gladdening him. After hearing the teaching, King Prasenjit addressed the Bhagwan. May the Bhagwan accept my invitation for 3 months along with the Bhikshu Sangha and stay nowhere else. The Bhagwan silently accepted Prasenjit's invitation. Seeing the Bhagwan's silent acceptance, King Prasenjit rose from his seat, bowed at the Bhagwan's feet, and withdrew. Returning to Shravasti, he commanded his ministers, I will offer meals to Buddha and the Bhikshu Sangha for 3 months, providing all necessities, robes, food, bedding, and medicine for the sick. You too should rejoice in this act. The ministers replied, So be it. Then King Prasenjit constructed a grand hall outside the palace gates, exquisitely adorned with silken banners, canopies, and countless musical performances. He prepared bathing pools, oil lamps, and hundreds of varieties of food. He then announced, The time has come. May the Bhagwan graciously come to this place. When the Bhagwan saw the time had come, he donned his robe, took his bowl, and entered Shravasti with the Bhikshu Sangha in procession. Arriving at the hall, he took his seat and the bhikshus sat in order. The king Prasenjit and his attendants personally served food, providing food, the necessities for 3 months without lack, robes, meals, bedding, and medicines. After the Bhagwan finished eating, the king scattered flowers over him and the Bhikshu Sangha, took a low seat before the Tathagat and said, I once heard from Buddha the origin of merit. Feeding animals brings hundredfold merit. Feeding the immoral brings thousandfold. Feeding the virtuous brings 10,000-fold. Feeding the desire, renouncing sages brings 100 millionfold. And feeding those aspiring to Shrotapanna, stream enterers, brings immeasurable merit. How much more for one who attains Shrotapanna? How much more for those aspiring to or attaining Sakradagami, once returning, and Anagami, non returning, arhantship, or Pratyek Buddhahood? How much more for the Tathagat, the Samyak Sambuddha? How much more for Buddha and the Bhikshu Sangha? The merit is beyond calculation. Today, my act of merit is complete. Next slide. The Bhagwan said, Great King, do not speak thus. The accumulation of merit is inexhaustible. Why do you say so? Today, that your deeds are complete, for the cycle of birth and the death is long beyond measure. Long ago, there was a king named Deshika who ruled this Jambudvipa. He had a minister named Sumati who had served him since youth without fear or hardship. The king then gave half of Jambudvipa to his minister to govern. Thereupon, King Sumati built a city, 12 yojanas east-west and 7 yojanas north-south, with fertile lands and a vast population. Next. Doctor, do we take break or do we continue?
No, you continue. I think it's a story and it's
Continue,
important.
continue, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next slide. This city was named Duradarshan. King Sumati's chief queen was named Surya Chandra Prabha, neither tall nor short, neither fat nor thin, neither dark nor fair, with flawless beauty rare in the world. Her breath bore scent of utpala flowers, and her body emitted sandalwood fragrance. Soon after she conceived, the queen informed the king, I am with child. Hearing this, the king rejoiced uncontrollably and ordered his attendants to prepare lavish seating. When her pregnancy reached full term, she bore a son. At his birth, Jambudvipa shone golden, and the prince possessed the 32 marks, his body radiant. King Sumati, overjoyed, summoned Brahmanas and Shramanas, personally presenting the prince for examination. Next slide. I have begotten this child. Examine him and name him. The seers obeyed the king's command, examined the prince's form, and declared, O noble king, the prince is peerless in beauty, with all faculties intact and the 32 marks. He will follow one of two paths. If he remains a householder, he will begin a Chakravartin Raja with seven treasures the will, elephant, horse, jewel, queen, treasurer, and general, and 1,000 mighty sons who will pacify the world without violence. If he renounces the world, he will attain Anuttar Sambodhi, his fame pervading the cosmos. On his birth, light illuminated the world. Thus, we name him Dipankara. Having named him, the seers departed. The king cradled the prince ceaselessly, never taking his eyes off him. He built 3 halls for the prince for autumn, winter, and summer, filled with attendants and maidens, where the prince would play. At 29, the prince announced the world with unwavering faith and attained Buddhahood that very night. All Jambudvipa heard. The prince announced and became Buddha in a single day. At dawn, his father learned of this and reflected. Last night, the Devas praised this in unison. A surely auspicious omen. I shall go see him. The king went with 4 billion flowers to Dipankar Tathagat, bowed at his feet, and sat aside. The Tathagat gradually taught them on generosity, virtue, heavenly rebirth, the defilement of desire, and impurity of craving, and the purity of renunciation. Observing their readiness, he expounded the Four Noble Truths. There, the 4 billion shake defilements and attained the Dharma. The 4 billion said to Dipankar Tathagat, we wish to renounce and follow the path. Know this great king. They all became arhats that very day. At that time, Dipankar Tathagat traveled through that realm with 40 billion fully liberated disciples. The people of the land provided the 4 necessities clothing, food, bedding, and medicine without any lack. When King Deshika heard that his son Dipankara had attained Anuttar Samudhi and was traveling with 40 billion liberated ones through that realm, he thought, now I shall send a messenger to invite the Tathagat to teach here. If he comes, my original vow will be fulfilled. If not, I shall personally go to pay homage. He then commanded a minister, go to that place. Convey my respects to the Tathagat by bowing your head to his feet and inquire about his well-being. King Deshika pays respect and inquires if the Tathagat is in good health and at ease. May the Bhagwan kindly grace this land with his presence. At that time, the messenger had received the king's command, journeyed to that realm. Upon arrival, he prostrated with his head at the Bhagwan's feet, stood respectfully to one side, and spoke thus. King Deshika pays homage at the Tathagata's feet. Having completed his reverential greetings, He inquires after your well being, whether you dwell in comfort and move about in good health. He earnestly prays the Buddha might graciously visit this kingdom. Then the Bhagwan, in characteristic silence, accepted the invitation. Next slide. So, uh, I guess this was how the journey has started. There, I think so. There will be some remaining slides for this sutta right now. But can we discuss about this, doctor, for some time?
Yeah. So, doctor, can if you can hear us, otherwise,
Yeah, I can hear you. But
yeah,
the screen keep on moving, you know.
yeah.
Why? No,
No, the person who is handling the slides missed on certain slides, so he's trying to get back the slides.
I see.
But what you heard right now, doctor, is that serving the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha, and
Yeah.
Prasenjit, the king Prasenjit, telling that his job is done, all the merit
Yeah.
has been fulfilled, and he says no.
No, because his marriage actually it doesn't mean anything.
Ah.
You still remember or not? It's a Bodhidharma when he went
Hmm.
to China.
Hmm.
Okay, the king told him that he had built a lot of viharas
Hmm.
and he have fed what do you call feed thousands of monks. No,
Hmm.
how much merit he is having?
Hmm.
Bodhidharma told him there's no merit.
Hmm.
Okay, don't do all these things for merits. No,
Yeah.
okay. Then and it's very ironic that the king eventually lost in the war
Hmm.
and starved to death. You know.
Hmm.
Then you see he have provided the food to so many monks,
Hmm.
yet he is starving to death.
Hmm.
So whatever we do actually, we should
Hmm.
not do things blindly. You know,
Hmm.
just doing things for merit is not the practice.
Hmm.
Okay. Then talking about Dipankara.
Hmm.
Okay, Dipankara is the Buddha that what do you call that notified Sakyamuni, you know,
Hmm.
that you become the next Buddha.
Hmm.
So he is the one before Buddha.
Hmm.
Yeah. It is a long sutra, no?
It's a long sutra. Let us continue reading, doctor.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Diksha, you can continue.
Yes. At that time, Dipankar Tathagat traveled gradually through human realms with his great assembly of 40 billion bhikshus. Wherever they went, people reverently offered robes, food, bedding, and medicine until they reached King Deshika's domain. When the king heard Dipankara Tathagat had arrived at the northern Brahman garden with 40 billion bhikshus, he said, I shall personally go to welcome him. King Deshika then went with 40 billion followers to Dipankar Tathagat, bowed at his feet, and sat to one side along with his 40 billion attendants. Next. Then Dipankar Tathagat gradually taught the king and 40 billion followers about generosity, virtue, heavenly rebirth, and defilement of desire, and the purity of renunciation. Observing their receptive minds, he expounded the Four Noble Truths of suffering, its origin, cessation, and path. Right there, in their seats, their impurities vanished, and they attained the pure Dharma. At the time, the assembly of 40 billion addressed Dipankar Tathagat, saying, we wish to shave our heads and beards, live household life, and practice the path. Great king, you should understand at that moment all 40 billion renunciants, worldly life to follow the path, and on that very day attain the state of arhanship. The king Deshika rose from his seat, bowed his head at the Bhagwan's feet, and withdrew. At the time, Dipankar Tathagat traveled through that realm with 80 billion arhats. The people of the land provided the four necessities of life clothing, food, bedding, and medicine without any lack of deficiency. Next. Latter, King Deshika come again with his ministers to where the Tathagat was staying. He bowed his head at the Bhagwan's feet and sat respectfully to one side. Dipankar Tathagat then expounded the profound dharma to the king. King Deshika addressed the Tathagat. May the Buddha accept my offerings without my lifetime. For yourself and Sangha of Bhikshus, I will provide clothing, food, bedding, and medicine without fail. Then Dipankar Tathagat, in his characteristic way, silently accepted the king's invitation. When the king saw that Tathagat silently accepted his invitation, he addressed the Bhagwan again. Now, I wish to make a special request of the Bhagwan. May you grant me this wish. The Bhagwan replied, the dharma of the Tathagat transcends such wishes. The king said to the Bhagwan, the wish I seek is most pure and wonderful. The Bhagwan asked, what is this pure and wonderful wish you seek? The king replied, in my mind, I envision that today the Sangha eats from one set of bowls, tomorrow from another. Today the Sangha wears one set of robes, tomorrow changes to another. Today the Sangha sits on one type of seat, tomorrow changes to another. Today certain attendants serve the Sangha, tomorrow different ones serve. This is precisely the wish I seek. Dipankar Tathagat declared, your wish is granted. Now is the appropriate time. King Deshika was overcome with joy beyond measure. He rose from his seat, bowed his head at the Bhagwan's feet in reverence, then withdrew. Returning to his palace, he addressed his assembled ministers. It is now my heartfelt wish to support Dipankar Tathagat, the Samyak Sambuddha, and the Sangha throughout my remaining lifetime, providing robes, food, bedding, and medicine. You must all assist me in making these offerings. The minister replied in unison, as your majesty commands. Within a yojana of the city walls, they built a magnificent hall adorned with intricate carvings, decorated in hues of azure and gold. Silken banners and canopies hung from above. Musicians performed. Fragrant water scented the grounds. Bathing pools were dug. Countless lamps prepared, along with exquisite delicacies and properly arranged seating. Then they announced, the time has come. The moment is at hand. May the Buddha graciously accept our invitation. At the time, Dipankar Tathagat, perceiving the proper time had come, donned his robes and took up his alms bowl. Surrounded by the assembly of bhikshus who formed his retinue, he proceeded to the lecture hall where each took their proper seat. When King Deshika saw the Bhagwan and the Sangha properly seated, he personally served them together with his royal consorts and ministers, offering various exquisite foods, each dish prepared in a hundreds distinct flavors. Know this, great king. For 70,000 years, King Deshika made offerings to Dipankar Tathagat and 80 million arhats without ever growing weary or negligent in his devotion. When that Tathagat had perfectly completed his teaching mission, he entered Parinirvana in the realm of complete nirvana without remainder. At the time, the great King Deshika made offerings with hundreds of varieties of fragrant flowers. At the four crossroads, he built four temples adorned with the seven treasures gold, silver, lapis lazuli, and crystal, hanging silken banners and canopies, and 80 billion of beings, one after another, attained Parinirvana in the realm of complete nirvana without remainder. Then the great king gathered the relics of the 80 billion of beings and for each built a sacred shrine, all hung with silken banners and canopies, making offerings of incense and flowers. O great king, you should know this. At the time, The great King Deshika further made offerings to the temple of Buddha Dipankar Tathagat and the 80 billions of Arhats temples, continuing for 70,000 years, constantly offering lamps, scattering flowers, and hanging silken banners and canopies. O great king, you should know that only after the teachings of Buddha Dipankar had completely vanished did the king then attain parinirvana. At the time, that great king Deshika someone else? Do not think so. Why is this? The great king Deshika at the time was none other than myself. At the time, for 70,000 years, I made offerings to that Buddha, clothing, food, bathing, and medicine for the sick, ensuring nothing was lacking. After his parinirvana, for another 70,000 years, I made offerings to his relics and images, burning license, lighting lamps, ha- and hanging silken banners and canopies, never lacking in devotion. At that time, I dedicated these merits to seeking blessings within the cycle of birth and death, not aspiring for liberation. O great king, do you think any remnants of those past virtues remain today? Do not think so. As I now reflect on that vast wealth of merit, not even a hair's breadth of it remains. Why? Because the cycle of birth and death is immeasurably long, and throughout it, all those merits were exhausted. Not a trace is left. Therefore, O great king, do not say, the merits I have cultivated are now complete. Instead, O great king, you should declare, all actions performed now by my body, speech, and mind are solely for liberation, not for accumulating merits within birth and death. Only thus can one attain immeasurable peace throughout the long night of samsara. At the time, King Prasenjit was filled with terror, his hair standing on end, and tears of sorrow streamed down as he wept. Wiping his tears with his hand, he bowed his head at the feet of Bhagwan and confessed his fault. Do we need to take break here, doctor, or
No,
should we
I
continue?
think continue because you're at the end.
Continue.
Yeah.
Like a fool, like an idiot, utter devoid of understanding, O Bhagwan, I sorry, I'm not able to see on the cross what
I,
has been written.
I beg you to accept my
Yeah, I
repentance.
beg you to accept my repentance.
Now I prostrate myself with all five limbs touching the ground, vowing to correct my past mistakes. Never again will I utter such words. O Bhagwan, I beseech you to accept my repentance. Thus he pleaded again and again. The Bhagwan said, Excellent, excellent, great king. Now before the Tathagat, you repent your wrongdoings and vow to reform. I accept your repentance and see that you do not repeat this. At that time, among the assembly, there arose a bhikshuni named Katyayani. She rose from a seat, bowed her head at the Bhagwan's feet, and addressed the Tathagata. The dharma proclaimed today by the Bhagwan is supremely profound and subtle. Moreover, when the Bhagwan instructed King Prasanajit, he declared, Know this, O king, all actions performed through body, speech, and mind should be wholly dedicated to liberation. Seek not to consume merit within the cycle of birth and death, that you may obtain immeasurable peace throughout the long night of samsara. I speak thus because I myself recall making offerings 31 kalpas ago to the Tathagata Vipashin, that Samyak Sambuddha, who appeared in this world. Vidya Acharana Sampanna, the Sugata, Lokavid, Anuttara, Purushadamaya Sarati, Shasta, Deva Nam, the Buddha, the Bhagwan, who dwelt in the Hayagriva realm. At that time, that Buddha put on his robes and took his bowl to enter Hayagriva city for alms. In the city, there was a servant named Shuddhakala. When this servant saw the Tathagata entering the city with his bowl for alms, he thought, now that the Tathagata has entered the city and must need food, he immediately went into his home and brought out food to offer to the Tathagata, making this aspiration. By this merit, may I not fall into the three evil realms. May I in future lives encounter such a noble one, and may that noble one teach me the dharma so I may attain liberation. Both the Bhagwan and King Prasenjit should know was that the Shuddhakala servant, someone else, was not someone else. Do not think so. Why? Because that Shuddhakala servant was none other than myself. At that time, when I made offerings to Vipashian Tathagat and made this vow, for 31 kalpas, I never fell into the three evil realms, being reborn among gods and humans, until finally in this life I encountered our Bhagwan, left home to practice the path, exhausted all outflows, and became an arhant. When the Bhagwan speaks so profoundly to King Prasanajit about dedicating all actions towards liberation rather than worldly rewards, whenever I see bhikshus, bhikshunis, upasakas, or upasikas showing devotion to the Tathagata, I think, shouldn't these virtuous ones honor and serve the Tathagata? When I see members of the fourfold assembly, I ask them, virtuous ones, what do you need? Robes? Bowls? Sitting mats? Needle cases? Water pots? Or other monastic requisites? I will provide them all. Having promised this, I search everywhere. If I obtain them, that is excellent. If not, I'll go to Uttarakuru, Apara Godaniya, Puruva Vidaha to procure them. Why? Because through supporting the fourfold assembly, one attains the nirvana path. Then the Bhagwan, observing Bhikshuni Katayana's mind, addressed the bhikshus. Have any of you seen another with faith liberation like Bhikshuni Katyayani? The bhikshus replied, no, Bhagwan. The Bhagwan declared, foremost among my Bhikshuni disciples in faith liberation is Bhikshuni Katyayani. When the Bhikshuni Katyani, King Prasenajit, and the entire fourfold assembly heard what the Buddha said, they followed it with joy. Doctor, this was a long sutra, but a very, very important one.
Yeah. You see, a few things that you must understand. First, the world of Buddha Dipankara is very different from our present world. No? He became Buddha in a single day. Okay? And his
Mm,
disciple all become Arhan also in a single day.
mm,
Their world much better than our world.
mm,
The world much better than our. Okay. Then they're talking about 4 million people, and the life also very long life, 70 million years, 70,000 years. So, okay.
mm,
So you should not refer their world with our present world. Yeah. Then secondly is that the important thing is that you should not do things for marriage, no.
mm,
You do things for liberation. You do not practice for marriage, you practice for liberation. So whatever marriage you get, Buddha say over the long year for Dipankara, he exhausted the marriage no, through countless of this birth and rebirth. No. Eventually, the all the whatever marriage you have, one day you'll be exhausted. No. You'll be exhausted. Okay, even the Brahma, Buddha said that the Prana one day exhausted the marriage also, he had to come back to this world. Okay, this is a thing. That's why married are not permanent. So we should not attach to merit, but we should fight for liberation.
Yeah, I think, Doctor, very clear. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the essence of today's sutra. Long one, one is enough for
No one,
today.
yeah.
Yeah, one is enough, I think so.
Yeah. Then I think I may need to exit myself.
Yes, yes, Doctor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we are
I
almost
want
done.
to attend
Thank you so
listening.
much. Yeah,
Then sorry, then meet you all again.
yeah, yeah, Doctor.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
so much.
Yeah, bye bye, bye bye.
Yeah.
yeah. Bye, doctor.
Yeah. So that was a long sutra, and definitely it covered up one thing, that everything is a loop. And if you see that serving the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha in terms of whatever material possible, so that you can cultivate merits, but not only and only for the sake of cultivating merits, but to attain liberation. And till the time you don't get liberated, you need to keep on serving and serving and serving and serving. And so this serving for a teacher just doesn't stop, right? Till the time you don't become one of the teachers. So till the time you don't become a Buddha, we need to serve the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. And that's what it is said here. You cannot count on the merits, because merits at the end will all get exhausted in the samsara of birth and death. Okay, and one, if that is understood, I think our giving will never be immeasurable, and hence our receiving
Yes.
will be immeasurable. And that's exactly what the Diamond Sutra also tells.
Yes, doctor, perfectly said. Also, I would like all the participants here to, what comes to their mind when it comes to offering. Is it time? Is it service? Or is it money? Or is it whatever comes when they are seeing and thinking about the offering? If they can share their insight with us, that would be really good.
I'll start
Also,
first.
doctor, at
I'll start first. First is if we can find somebody like an Arya where you can serve or who deserves to be given any support, only then we can support. Right now, it's very difficult to find a genuine Arya, a teacher who is definitely worthy of the support that we can give. Because if you do not find something worthy, there's no point in just giving it for Nama and Rupa. There's no, absolutely not a possible. So from my side, am I think that our movement is exactly what we are doing. The Shunya movement is practicing the sutras as it is. And I think keeping the sutras as a teacher, anything for the sutras is the best way of contributing from my side.
yes, doctor, perfectly said. If our participants also can share their insights, their understanding of the sutra, that will be better. I invite all the participants to unmute themselves. At the end of session, we will be going to take their uh, understanding of the sutra. Also, doctor, at the beginning of the sutra, King Prasenjit, he removed his parasol. He removed his, all the lavish things he was possessing. Yeah, so it is the sign of respect, how, humble they get before, even going and greeting to Bhagwan. That is also profound, and we can have this
Yeah.
learnings.
So when you go meet a simple person, you go in a simple form. But when you meet a nice, luxurious person, then you go with nicely dressed and very well mannered, right? You go with nice. If you're going to meet a businessman who's inviting you for lunch or dinner, you don't go in a shabbily dressed form. You wear yourself nicely suited up to respect him because he is also like that. So when you meet a
Yeah,
simple person, you go simple. So it is like that,
yeah,
just respecting the other person.
right, right. Right. Also, we have learned to the that made it, even though uh, the former Buddha has served for 70,000 years for Dipankara Buddha, that made it also got exhausted. So one must strive for the liberation and not accumulating the merits. That was the profound message we have learned from this Sutra Doctor, and that's the main takeaway home message. I think so. It's there for today's session. We have studied about the generosity, the dana, also the trap of having that false pride when it comes to giving, uh, because the thinking I have done enough is dangerous, I think. So that humbleness to do more and to do our own karma with Buddha Dhamma and Sangha, I think so. That's the way. But doctor, as a psychotherapist, I'm asking you this question, that when it comes to dana and generosity, one may fall in the trap that I have done so much. See, I'm giving that self importance to self, how to let it go, doctor?
By keep on doing, I think that is the only way. There's no other way. You have to keep on doing as much as you can. You can only give as much as you have. You cannot give more than that, right? So you will be only able to contribute as much as you can contribute. You cannot contribute more than that. So when you can contribute your 100%, there's nothing left. So I
Yeah.
think that's important. You for your to contribute 100% in anything you do will give you 100% result of what you deserve.
Mm. Also, doctor, here the very important message Buddha gave us instruction is that all body, speech, and mind actions should be dedicated to liberation and not just merit.
Yeah. So liberation is basically having the liberty to do what you want to do, right? And I think that's freedom. And if one has to seek for that freedom, the only way is through having a mind that is calm, the mind that is at peace, mind that is not bonded by anything, okay, especially the Panchaskanda. That is a liberated mind. And one, if he understands this, then he knows that the journey is a self journey, or self journey of realization, rather than doing something good for others and expecting the so called blessings to bring about a change in our life. I think no. Giving is a quality that you have surplus. Giving is a quality to say that I am ready to share. And it is a quality that gives you more. So one has to give just because he has it, right? So do not hesitate to give when you have received it, because you're meant for that, and you keep on giving. If you are going to be miser, if you're not going to give, then you're going to have a miserable life. You're going to quantify how much you're going to give, then your merits will also be very quantifiable, and one day it will exhaust. So immeasurable giving is very important. Do not count on what is given. Do not even know. That is why they say when you give dana, your left hand should not know what the right hand gave, and the right hand should not know what the left hand gave. That's how you should be doing dana.
Yes, doctor. On yesterday, we got the same question regarding this when it comes to offering and giving dana on the occasion of Janmashtami from Dr. Dipti, because we generally one tends to do the dana for or one or many people ask for the recognition, or you will get those blessings, or but it should be an act of compassion. I think so purely, and as you said, left doesn't left should not know what's the right has, and right should not know what the left has. Also, the past life story of the Tathagat Buddha was of King Deshika was really profound, doctor, because as again the offering to 70,000 years also, uh, the offering to the 80 billion arhats is very deep work he has done. Even such immense merit was also consumed in the samsara. So only when directed towards the liberation, it does remain. Otherwise, it is gonna uh, get exhausted. I would ask if there are any questions from the participants. They can
And
unmute and ask. Yes, doctor.
And if you look at it, when the Buddha is talking to Prasanjit, King Prasanjit is giving the examples of all the great kings of the past and how they served the Tathagata, right? So that he feels good. But remember, the audience is the fourfold assembly, and there are normal people also. And then suddenly, one among the commoners, like Katyayani Bhikshuni, comes in, and she also says that what he is telling to Prasanjit is right. Even I have done offering. So at the end, even the smallest person, even the most insignificant person, when he is contributing to the Sangha, that contribution is also immense. And that shows that the journey of giving is just a journey that continues that relationship forever, lifetimes after lifetimes after lifetimes.
Yes, when it comes to story of Bhikshuni Katyayani, the end message also we get is we must be correcting our own mistakes is the way to go forward. So whenever we have got some guide and mentor, and if he or she is correcting you, there is a learning also. Also, the Katyayani's faith was praised by the Tathagat, and it was the liberation through pure sincerity. I think so, and it was deep. So we can take up some questions, doctor.
Yeah, I think no hand raised means no questions, and if no questions, that means it's the time to
One
call it.
question, doctor.
Okay, one way, yeah, please.
Yes,
What
Dr.
I
Dipti has.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
go ahead.
go on, Rucha. What I understood from yesterday's and today's sutra is that whenever you want to offer something, don't offer it because you wish to get something out of it. Like without expectation, you need to offer whatever you are offering. Then it is your time, your money, or in whatever form. But if you start expecting on, if you want to, some people do it just to show that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You will see so many social media pages, people, they donate and then they'll put pictures and then show that, okay. So they are just doing it because they want to show that we are doing it and we have it. But I think even if you offer a smile to a person who is not, I mean, who is sad, I think that is also a biggest offering. It doesn't matter what you're offering, but you should offer it from your heart and without expecting any merits out of it.
Yeah, that's very true, and that's how it should be. Without expectation, one has to offer. But remember, when others are showing all the expectations on social media, maybe they are just some bodhisattvas trying to play to see whether you have some kind of jealousy or hatred that comes within us. So let them do what they are doing. We do what we are doing. We should be doing our part of giving without any expectations, giving 100% without any expectations. And I think, as you said, coming it from the heart is very important, and that's where the intention lies. And intention is everything, as Buddha says, because intention reveals the view that you carry about life. And people who give with that intention of not receiving, like a mother gives to the child not because she has an expectation to get something back. That's how you should be giving. And if we can do that, I think then we are on the path of the Buddha.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, if there are any other questions, we can take it up.
No.
So I just checked chat, and this is just the greeting. So I think so there are no questions. But Doctor, it was very interesting session today, and as Doctor Ditti's question was also in line with we give it and offer with full heart. So offering time for the for as a social service can be a gateway. Also, having that support to our sangha with all the necessities, if you can manage to offer it, that is also another way. Also, if we can develop our awareness, and if it is coming from pure compassion, that is also the way we can serve and build the communities and the association uh, around us. Can we end today's session, Doctor, here? Or do you want
Thank
to
you.
say the last few words for today's session?
I think the most important thing has been said by the sutra, and the conclusion is that keep doing your duties, fulfill your responsibilities, keep practicing. Don't let the mind go here and there. Let it remain calm. And I think a well balanced mind and with a well balanced life, with everything around taken care of by as much as we can, I think by giving as much as we can, I think you will be able to lead a life that will lead you to nirvana.
Thank you, Doctor. And liberation is the way. And with this, I offer my blessings to, and it is coming from heart. So I'm saying this. May all the good we do should go and build our own awakening. So thank you for joining all of us. See you next Saturday, 8:30 a.m. for Sanयुक्त Nikaya Hindi session. Till
Thank
then, take care. Bye bye.
you. Bye-bye.